Hello and warm welcomes to you, people of the plain earth. Nee B here again with another little upload, a nice little bone cracker entitled Shenton's Plain Truth. Now Samuel Shenton, the man, the legend, was the founder of the International Flat Earth Research Society. It was based in Dover, England, and he lectured to youth clubs, political and student groups during the space race in the 1960s. Now, he was seen frequently on television, and he was in newspapers promoting his views on the flat earth truth. He performed the Bedford level experiment for himself and many other scientific experiments proving the flat earth for himself. You on the other side of the screen, all the people of the plain earth can do this. We call it self-observation. Now Pyrrho, which is a Greek philosopher from Elis, who was credited in antiquity as being the first skeptic philosopher and the inspiration for the school known as Pyrrhonism. Now his followers adopted the label zetetic, which in Greek simply means seeker. So we are the seekers of the truth. And he stressed the importance of observation with personal experience as a path to truth, claiming that man can only know the world as it appears to him. Which is what, folks? Flat and stationary, not bald and spinning. Now Shenton's view of the Earth was that the Earth is a flat disk centered on the North Pole, with the zetetic notion of the South Pole being an impenetrable wall of ice that marked the edge of the pit that is the Earth, in the endless flat plane forming the universe. The sun cast a narrow beam like a flashlight. We call it the spotlight effect nowadays, moving over a table as it traced flat circles that varied over the 365-day cycles. The sun was 32 miles in diameter, 3,000 miles above the Earth, and the moon was also 32 miles in diameter, but she was only 2,550 miles above the Earth. Now he founded the society as a direct descendant of the Universal Zetetic Society, but with that kind of less religious emphasis on it. The Universal Zetetic Society became the International Flat Earth Research Society, though it is unclear when the name was actually changed. But Shenton found a precedent in William Mills, an actual relative of one of Lady Blount's followers, and held its inaugural meeting in November at the Millses' home in London, with Shenton as secretary. Now wouldn't that have been cool to have been there, socialising, cigar in one hand with a brandy in the other, discussing the flat earth truth? Brilliant. Now, this is really interesting, folks, because during one of Shenton's meetings, one of the attendances, just attending out of sheer curiosity, was none other than the Sky at Night astronomer, Sir Patrick Moore. That's right, the Games Master himself. He was the man who asked the famous star question to the Apollo NASA boys: did they see any stars through the solar corona? To which they replied they couldn't or didn't see any stars, which is impossible when you are supposedly travelling through a so-called vast star-filled galaxy. But Sir Moore even recounted this very experience in his book, Can You Speak Venezuelan or Venusian? Now Shenton claimed that even the very famous George Bernard Shaw attended one of his meetings, declaring that the presentation was incredible and very persuasive. Because it's the truth, folks. Now Shenton was very well liked. He was very credible. He was elected a fellow of both the Royal Astronomical and the Royal Geographical Societies. So the launch of Sputnik in 1957, the world's first fake artificial satellite. But still, Shenton proved a popular speaker to small groups, enjoying particularly talking to children, never declining that invitation, always trying to help those understand the flat earth truth from the fake truth. Even when astronaut John Glenn so-called orbit of the world, he was sent an IFA's membership with the message "OK Wise Guy" added to it. Now, what a great sense of humour Shenton must have had to do that. He continued to lecture largely at his own expense, but unfortunately he had suffered 2 strokes in 1963, which takes their toll on him. So 3 years later he produced a pamphlet called The Plain Truth, which will be below. So at the time when the Lunar Orbiter program was shown on the TV, this then led to a sharp decline in the membership of IFAs because of one very big reason, folks. CGI was here. Visual images, whether they were globes, photographs or television pictures and videos, were clearly critical to how the masses of people perceived the Earth's shape to be. Self-observation is out and the globe indoctrination is in. It starts even on preschool children that could now know it was round due to the TV, even when they have no grasp, no concept of what the words mathematics, astronomy, geography, science actually mean. Brainwashing the masses had started. The television worked, showing the fake CGI images and videos, special effects that easily convince the general public that you think you live on a ball and man landed on the moon. How access to Photoshop, master techniques and master special effects, photo fisheye lenses that literally sell a million lies. But by 1968, his health though had deteriorated further, and his sign writing business had unfortunately all but collapsed due to his vision. Although the media attention did continue for a short while, and he stuck to his principles of zetetic inquiry, in which only personal acquired facts were permissible. And in January 1969, IFAs had dropped to maybe only 100 members worldwide, but he found what he thought was a successor in Mr. Ellis Hillman, a lecturer and a member of the Greater London Council. Hillman agreed to be president of the IFAs with the encouragement of Sir Patrick Moore. But Lillian Shenton was sort of suspicious of his motives though, not of Sir Moore's, but of Hillman's, as he was developing a postgraduate course on the development of ideas about the shape of the Earth. So in the actual event, he sort of did very little for the society in the end. And 18 months later, sadly Shenton passed on, but leaving the IFAs in that very much capable hands of Charles Johnson, together with his wife Marjorie, who took over the administrative duties of the IFAs, and they operated it from their own home in Lancaster, California, until round about 2001 when he passed away. Now, there is an upload in the making, folks, regarding Mr. and Mrs. Johnson. Please stay tuned over the next coming weeks for that one, as their story involves arson and sabotage. But then from 2001, Mr. Eric Dubé, an author of many books, a teacher and a keen martial artist, had brought it back into the public domain once again, where it is now gaining huge popularity in 2018. The website for IFAs will be below, and please don't get confused folks, it is not the Flat Earth Society. There is a Mr. Daniel Shenton who is or was the president of the Flat Earth Society, but he's not a direct descendant or a relative of Mr. Sam Shenton. They just happen to share the same surname. Coincidentally though, because FES is certainly not the place to be if you are looking for real Flat Earth facts and proofs. But I will include his letter below as it's regarding the Flat Earth and certainly relevant to this upload. I will also leave the PDFs below for the Plain Truth and Mr. Shenton's letter to Hillman. You can read it at your own leisure and maybe one day join the real IFAs for yourself. Listen folks, it's that time to wrap up, and love that sub if you're finding me for the first time. Thank you for joining me on this upload. Good luck to you and please stay safe. Thank you for watching.